So a little earlier this evening, a mere 6 days after Nintendo revealed the Nintendo Switch, on Twitter, Nintendo dropped another bomb. Now, this bomb is arguably almost as big as the one from last week, where Nintendo announced that they were going to reveal the NX, which of course turned into the Nintendo Switch. What they confirmed on Twitter was that on January 12th is when we can all officially expect the 100% full reveal and presentation from Nintendo about the Nintendo Switch. Holy freaking crap, I can't believe it. This is so awesome that Nintendo just seems to be rolling with the hype and the momentum and carrying really great news to us again. Again, 6 days after they revealed the Switch. I mean, we waited what seems like 10 centuries just for them to show us what the NX was, and now that they've finally done it, less than a week later, they've given us more news and at least an update. Now, they're not telling us price and specs and games or anything yet, but the simple fact that within a week, they were willing to address everyone again, say, hey, we know you're listening, we know you're watching, we know you're waiting and theorizing and guessing, and you're anxious to find out more about our next console. Well, here's when you're going to be able to do it. Granted, it's a little bit farther away than a lot of us wanted. I was expecting the full kind of Nintendo Direct presentation or whatever they were going to do within a week. This was about the time that I was thinking, okay, now that they've shown us the Switch, in about 5, 6, 7 days is probably when they're going to give us the huge blowout. And it turns out it's actually about 3 months later. And you know what? At this point, it's okay. Now that we've seen the Switch and Nintendo's finally just, gotten rid of the whole NX malarkey, I'm kind of okay with the next couple of months just being excited, getting ready. At this point, there's still a lot of games I want to play. I'm right at the end of the Gears of War 4 campaign, which was so fantastic. You're watching gameplay of it right now. Love the game. It's definitely a contender for my Game of the Year, although I don't know if it's going to win like I initially thought, but we'll see. Still a lot of games coming out that I'm very excited for. Final Fantasy, Last Guardian. I'm a Call of Duty guy, so I can't wait for Call of Duty. I've got Titanfall coming to me in a couple of days. It's going to be, I'm going to be really busy with games, and I kind of like the idea of, for the rest of the year, over the holiday, just being focused on the games that are actually being made available. As soon as January 1st hits, it's like, hey, in just under 2 weeks, we're finally going to find out what the real deal with the Switch is from Nintendo, and I think that that's cool. That was probably their plan. The idea of completely slamming us with all the info just a couple of weeks or even 1 week after they revealed the Switch initially felt right just because I was like, okay, you whet my appetite, Nintendo, after a year and a half of waiting. Now I need the next thing. Now I need all the info. Now I need it released so I can just buy it and play it. And I kind of like the idea, leading off of what I was just saying, of them kind of taking their time and pacing this out. I think it's going to make the holiday a little bit more worthwhile. It's kind of fun to be excited, and it's fun to anticipate something great coming up, and that seems to be what Nintendo's trying to do. The real question is, how much are they going to give us on January 12th? And you have to think most of the important details. The official release date, the final price, details on battery life, and they're not going to go over specs per se, but I'm sure that those will be officially released, sometime after the presentation. They're going to probably show us some games. They're going to detail some plans for the coming year. Talk about things about the controllers, how we're all kind of curious how that's going to be. Are there going to be a couple of different SKUs and some bundles? If there isn't, what's actually going to be included in the box with the Switch and what won't be? What's going to be available separately? I pretty much think the Pro Controller is the number one thing that's going to be available separately as well. No one's talked about this, but I also anticipate a lot of carrying accessories for all of the portable stuff for the Switch. People talk about how portable it's going to be and where am I going to fit it. Well, Nintendo's going to have you covered when they have a bunch of Mario and Samus and Link plastered little bags that are licensed by Nintendo to carry your goddamn Nintendo Switch tablet controller. Trust me, they're going to make a fortune off of all of that stuff, not to mention the controller skins and God knows what else. Trust me, the Switch is going to be an accessory machine to the nth degree. And honestly, as much as it's going to be like a business decision for them to do so and they're going to be bleeding money out of us, we're all going to love it. You know what? If they make a Samus frickin' Switch controller bag, I'm buying that day one because I'm going to want it whenever I want to take my Switch somewhere. So that's probably what we're going to get once they finally give us the reveal. Very, very exciting. And I like the idea of them giving us all the info and only 2 months later is when it's actually going to be revealed. That is exciting. And I'm going to remind you all watching this video now, what I reminded everyone on Twitter, we know that January 12th is the day that they're going to be revealing officially the Switch and all this information. You can also bet your bottom dollar that that very day or the day after, January 13th, is when pre-orders are going to become available. So just prepare yourself now. Get your money ready. It's probably going to be, on average, $50 to $100 to pre-order it at most stores. If you do it online, I think a lot of times it's even full price. If you want to expect between $250 or $400. That's kind of the big range there. Prepare that money right now. Get ready, because the last thing you're going to want to do is not be able to pre-order this thing. And by all accounts, this thing is going to be incredibly hard to find once it finally launches. So the one other thing I want to touch on real quick in this video is this rumor or discussion that's been going around the last 2 days about Nintendo apparently saying that they plan on shipping 2 million Switch units worldwide, I guess, for the initial launch, for basically that first month. So throughout the month of March, whether the system launches in the first week of March or whether it launches in the last 3 days of March, they plan on having 2 million units worldwide. Not confirmed. Some insiders and analysts are saying that that seems to be the talk and the scuttlebutt that they're hearing right now about what Nintendo's planning to do. If that's the case, you have to think, I mean, 2 million units just for the States would probably be good, but the fact that it's 2 million units for the entire world, if there's any truth to this, that's really not a whole lot, you guys. I think it's actually smart of Nintendo, because they're going to decimate that stock. And very similar to the Wii and even the Amiibo, we're going to run into a situation where, oh, the Switch are so hard to find. Where do I get one? I got to find one. And it's, some people call it that, fabricated demand. And it sort of is that. But at the same time, I think that there is very high demand for the Switch anyway. So I don't think they're really going to have to push that hard to fabricate that demand. But just, if it's really only 2 million units that Nintendo's planning on having out, it's going to be hard to find. And like I was leading to a minute ago, I think that it is smart of Nintendo, because it's going to show that they're selling out, and selling out is a good thing. It shows that the product that you're making is successful. There's very high interest in it, and people are struggling to keep it in stock. It's going to be very, very peculiar to kind of pick apart the whole scenario. And it's why, like I was just saying, prepare yourself to pre-order this thing as soon as that Nintendo Direct presentation on the Switch is over. So that's it for today, guys. Relatively short video, at least for myself. Usually on Rule of Two Review, I don't make videos this short, but this was really exciting news. I just wanted to talk about it real quick while I had the time. And it's exciting, you guys. At least now Nintendo's communicating with us in some sort of regular fashion. They've let us know exactly when we can expect the Switch. I'm telling you guys, we're going to be pre-ordering it that same day or the day after. And I can't wait to find out what the deal is. I want to know the date, the price, the games, the controllers, all that good stuff. It's going to be freaking fantastic. So are you guys excited? I know you are. Talk about the Switch and the reveal in January below. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.